How's it going, everybody? Hope we're all doing alright. Back with a brand new video. Finally been able to get out and make something. For those who follow the channel, who are loyal to all this, don't worry. Obviously I haven't uploaded a video for over a week. I haven't been on the piss. I haven't relapsed into my alcoholic ways. I'm sure you'll be glad to hear. Just been very busy. Just been seeing friends, sorting out Christmas presents, and yeah, I've been working as well, which is always good. I have a little part-time job as an exam invigilator at a school in my town. So I've been doing some mock exams for that. And today's the first day I've finally been able to get out. So I'm going to build a brand new bushcraft shelter, TP shelter, which is a job that's been long overdue at my den. So I'm going to get on with that. And obviously we're going to talk about Bigfoot, you know, pretty much a given on this channel. So yeah, if that sounds like something you're interested in, please stick around to find out more. Tell you what, today I'm actually up here a lot earlier than what I would normally be here at. On a normal day, I usually get up here about 20 past 11, half 11. But I thought, no, I'm getting up early today and I'm going to get up here handy. And it's just gone about 9:30, so plenty of time to get all my stuff done. As you can see, absolutely gorgeous day today. Almost winter. Winter don't start till the 21st of December. It's the winter solstice. And yeah, it's cold, but blue sky all around, which is absolutely lovely to see. It's where I live. The last week the weather has just been diabolical, man. Rain, sleet, wind, you know, going down to nearly 0 degrees. It's just been grim, you know. And I've said it before, if you're into bushcraft and hiking and being outdoors and all that sort of stuff, this time of year you need to have the correct gear on to keep you warm. But even still, that kind of weather, yeah, it grinds anybody down. So, like, I even had to bring one of my pet chickens inside because she were a little bit, you know, compared to the rest of the flock, she were a bit down in the dumps. Her head was slumped over all the time like that. She was losing weight, you know. So even animals that are hardy and used to this kind of weather, even they can't stand it. So anyway, right, so I've just got up here now, and I have like a little stash point where I keep I have like a spade and a builder's knife I have up here to do, you know, any physical labourous jobs, and they've gone. Somebody has taken them, which, you know, obviously I'm miffed at. What I don't get is why someone would take those, but they won't trash my den. You know what I mean? Like, a bit suspicious is that, really. So yeah, it is what it is. It'll make today's video a bit more tough because I needed that knife to cut the wood down. So I'm just going to have to snap it now with brute force. Oh well. So as you can see, I've changed my clothes since I got up here. This isn't really a survival technique. More just common sense is this, really. Obviously whenever you're doing physical activity and exerting yourself, you sweat. People sweat different amounts depending on their fitness level and their genetics. Now, whenever I am exerting myself, whether I'm exercising, whether I'm walking, doing this bushcraft stuff, I sweat like a leaky tap. I pour with sweat, which is lovely information, I'm sure. But obviously the purpose of sweating is to cool your body down when you are, you know, overexerting yourself. At this time of year, you need to keep warm anyway, but sweat is water, it's perspiration. So you might be wrapped up, but that sweat's still sitting on your chest. You know, so my big camo jacket, my jumper I had on underneath it, taking them off to let them air, put this little lightweight jacket on while I do all my bushcraft lifting and building. You know, so yeah, basically if you do anything like this at this time of year, it is important to keep warm, but also don't keep wet clothes on, so otherwise you might catch a cold. So you saw me then leaving an apple on that tree. You might think, why are you doing that? Weirdo. There's a lot of things that are weird about me, trust me. No, that's something that in the Bigfoot world is known as gifting. And it's a research technique that's used all over the world by Bigfoot researchers. They'll leave apples and, you know, various other food items in strategic locations in the hopes that, I suppose, it might habituate the Bigfoots to us. Now, there's a lot of mixed feelings about it within the Bigfoot world, whether it actually even works or not, and if it's actually doing more damage than it is good. You know, rather than us habituating the Bigfoots, what if it's actually the other way around and they're actually habituating us to them in you know, an attempt to, I don't know. I wouldn't really consider myself to be, you know, quote unquote Bigfoot researcher. You know, I'm just a young bloke that likes to come out here and make dens. It's just that obviously I have seen something that I believe to be the UK wild man, and I've had a lot of strange experiences that have happened to me while being out in the woods over the last couple of years that, you know, pertain to the subject of Bigfoot. Now, when I first got into this, I used to have strategic points within Witton Park, which obviously is down the hill from here, and all the various green corridors of small woodland around that area, where I would gift apples I had about 6 or 7 different spots, and you know, I'd leave them out off the ground, high up on a tree like what you've just seen, and you know, 9 out of 10 times I would go back the day after and they'd be gone without a trace. Sometimes I would even tie them up on baling twine and like in a loop, feed a hole through the apple and then tie some baling twine around the apple, and like I say, the baling twine would still be there, the apple would be gone, not a trace in sight. So I remember at the time, obviously once these apples started getting taken, I tried to do a bit of research into possibly, you know, ungulates, which are hoofed animals, deer in this country. Is there ever been any record, any scientific record of these animals grazing on their hind legs, like trying to reach up into trees for stuff? Because that was my first guess. I thought, I wonder if it's deer that are taking them and they're just, you know, devouring this apple in one full mouthful, and you know, like when you feed a horse, that kind of thing. That was my first guess, you know, and I couldn't find anything. You know, and in 2017 I was fresh off the back of finishing university, so I was still kind of in uni mode where I could research stuff and go on Science Direct and find journal articles on, you know, whatever it was that I wanted to find it on, and cite information, reference information. I just couldn't find anything that was even in America. I couldn't find anything that was remotely ever recorded within deer behaviour, where they would, you know, leave all 4 legs and try and reach up to feed something that was off the ground in the wild and in captivity. Because a lot of research papers on animal behaviour are done in captivity, are done within, you know, a zoo environment. And yeah, as I say, I couldn't find anything about it. Next culprit that I sort of lined up was birds. Was this the doing of birds? There's over 400 million birds in the UK of various different species. You know, passerines, which are songbirds, birds of prey, corvids, which are, you know, like your magpies and jackdaws and things like that. And you know, I kind of surmised these apples were disappearing without a trace. You know, there was no evidence left of it. I thought if it was a bird, this was the work of a bird, that surely there would be some trace left of evidence that, you know, they'd been, you know, great, you know, feeding on this apple. And you know, I know that corvids are clever, you know, magpies, jackdaws, ravens, crows, things like that. They're very clever birds. You know, they've scientifically proven that they can solve puzzles in order to gain a food reward. But I just can't see it, you know, them being able to undo an apple from something that it's been lodged into, like what I've shown you, and delicately undo baling twine to free this apple and then take it back to their den. I quickly ruled out squirrels as well. Obviously there's a lot of squirrels in the UK, and squirrels are omnivores, they'll eat anything really, and I just couldn't see a squirrel being able to have the dexterity against it. They only have tiny arms, they're quadrupeds, they run on all 4s, you know, they'll occasionally perch on their back legs. You know, these are pink lady apples that I'm leaving out there, you know, they're big corkers, and I just couldn't see a squirrel being able to carry an apple of that size back to its nest without dropping it multiple times. You know, believe me, I checked these areas to see if I could find any remains, like, you know, like apple peel or things like that, and like I said, they were just gone without a trace. So that just leaves you with 2 contenders really. It's either people that are taking them, or it's something else. Now the people theory is plausible, certain. You know, if it's somebody that's homeless, you know, hiding out in the woods. If I was homeless, I would come to the woods, for sure. You know, because I've a decent understanding of what I'm doing out here, what's edible and what's not. I can build a shelter, I can build a fire. I'd rather be out here than homeless in a city. So it's plausible as that, and just by happen chance they happen to come across these apples that I've left out there. I don't know. I suppose if I were homeless, I'd be desperate enough to eat anything that looked edible. But you know, I was going out. This is when I used to go out at night time, bigfooting. You know, I got very confident at it. It's pitch black, you know, apart from my torch. So these people would have to know where I've left these apples, and they'd have to have a torch of their own, which again, it is fairly plausible, is that. One of my goals for next year is I want to try and save up for a camera trap, bring it up here and leave it out after I've left an apple up at my den, in an effort to try and capture on camera whatever it is that's taking it. Then I don't think for 1 second I'm ever going to catch the UK wildman on a camera trap. You know, that's a whole video in itself. I don't think I'll ever do that. You know, and I might end up being absolutely gobsmacked and seeing a deer up on, you know, its hind legs reaching up to try and get my apples that I'm leaving out there. I don't know, but I think it'd be a pretty cool experiment for the, you know, for the channel. In regards to leaving the apples up at my den, I've had mixed results with it. Sometimes they're gone the day after. Once again, no trace of them being about. And then sometimes it can take them, you know, over a week to disappear. And I've left various food items out, you know, for these, whatever it is that's taking whatever I leave. You know, not just apples, but bananas, potato peelings, leftover curry, rice, bread, bacon, sweeties, you know, all sorts. So yeah, it's pretty clear from, you know, the results I'm getting of my little food experiments. Whatever it is that's taking this stuff, it's definitely not fussy, you know. So who the heck knows? For me personally, you know, if it is Bigfoot that is taking the food that I leave for my den, for me it isn't about trying to habituate them, research them. You know, I've seen one, I know they're here. For me it's more of a sign of respect. My way of saying, you know, thank you for letting me stay in your home for a little amount of time. Here's some food for you. So yeah. So I'm going to wrap it up now there for today. I've had a really good day up here. Super chuffed with my new shelter that I've built. Still some finishing touches to do on it, which, you know, I'll do at my own leisure. But I've got as far as I wanted to today with it, and I'm happy with what I've done. So yeah, if you've made it through to the end of the video, once again I massively appreciate it. You know, you're all saints that put up with my droneful, monotone Blackburn accent, so I appreciate that. Yeah, leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts yourself on what might be taking my apples, the various other food items I'm leaving up here. If you've any tips on how I could have built my shelter better, I'd like to know them. Yeah, like the video if you want, share it on your social media, I massively appreciate that, and I'll see you all further on down the road. Bye bye.